hear me? Does this work?
Here, can I have the water down there?
I realize
I know.
that
Change my
it
mind.
may be a minute or two early. I like to start meetings early. We finish on time. So let's call the meeting of the members of Pinehurst Country Club to order. And I want to start this evening with some introductions. Here we have a picture that you've seen on the website of our Board of Governors for 2014. But as I introduce these people, I would like to ask them to stand. Is Denny McCann with us this evening? I think I got it. There he is. Denny, please stay standing. Sorry, Denny. I don't think Duff Meyer was going to be able to make it this evening, but Duff, are you here? Okay. Then we have Mary Pappas, our Vice President. Jake Carruthers. Stephanie Stokes. Stephanie?
Next class.
We have Gary Stroh. Nancy Heilman. And Jim Kazmary. And then another very important person on our Board of Governors is our treasurer, has been our treasurer for 7 or 8 years, Ed Renner. Ed, please stand. That's your 2014 Board of Governors. We had a very unfortunate thing happen with our Board of Governors this year. A 5-year member of the board, Dick Bigger, passed. And if you would with me, let's just take a moment of silence in recognition of Dick's service to this club. Thank you. Something that is a little bit unusual from what we've done typically is I would like to have the past chairs of the Board of Governors please stand. Past chairs, please stand. There they are out there. And now with those people, I'd like to have anyone that has served as a governor in the past, would you please stand? If you have served as a governor. Come on, Bart, you've served as a governor. Anybody that served as a governor? Okay, thank you for your service in the past, but one of the points I wanted to make is that the building of a club is directly the result of people wanting to give of their time and effort to make the club a better place. And so as we go forward, we need you to either step up and be part of leading the club or to encourage other people to do that. The next thing we'd like to do is we'd like to announce the 2015 Board of Governors. And I guess I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but before I do that, to replace Dick Bigger's term on the Board of Governors, the board selected Stephanie Stokes. Stephanie, would you please stand again? And Stephanie comes to us as part of Pinehurst number 9. And so we're looking very much forward to all of the information and opportunities that she can bring us, as well as what we can share with our activities and things here that we've had over these many years. Stephanie, welcome to the board. In terms of our outgoing governors, we have 2 of those governors, one with us this evening, and Dennis McCann, who we introduced earlier, Dennis chose to have a contribution made in his name to the Meals on Wheels of Southern Pines. And Duff chose to have his contribution made in his name to the Folds of Honor. The Folds of Honor was something that many of us supported on a recent charity day in our organizations within the club. The 2015 elected Board of Governors for the class of 2017 are Vicki Hancock. Vicki, would you please stand?
Please stand. Yay, Vicky.
I was reelected, and then we have Howard Schwartz. Howard, joining the board.
Let's give Merle a hand because he also.
Please stand.
Okay, with that, then I'd like to call on Mary to Mary Pappas. That's it. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Already out of order. Let me share something with the group. I get back to town this evening at about 5 minutes before the meeting. So things have moved around a little bit, and they're in a little better order than I anticipated. But as we look to our officers for the coming year, the board met at 5:30 and selected Merle Lewis as president, Mary Pappas as vice president, Ed Renner as treasurer, and our secretary is to be determined yet, but we'll try and do that in the very near future. With that, then I'd like to call on Mary, our vice president. As president of the board, one of the opportunities that you have is to have someone that is very, very capable working hand in hand with you each step of the way as you go along. And I found this year just to be a great experience, working with Mary and her support every step of the way, and ideas that maybe I could have never ever thought of, she comes up with and shares them, and many of those things work to the benefit of the board. So I very much appreciated that opportunity to have worked with her, and I'd like to have her make a report then on what the committees of the board have been working on this past year.
Well, thank you very much, Merle. I appreciate the accolades, and I have very much enjoyed being the vice president and working with Merle also. The standing committees, of which there are 8, are in alphabetical order, because anybody who knows me knows I only do things in alphabetical order. So the bylaws committee was, the vice president is always on that, and had 3 other governors, Dick Beeger, Jim Kazmarek, and Duff Meyer. We did a couple of things this year, one of which was to make sure that all of the changes to the Golf and House standing committees were making more clarity that they all had the same verbiage, and the responsibility to the PCC membership, and providing, again, that consistency with all the other standing committee descriptions. We did realize that there is going to be a wonderful new pool coming about in 2015, so we had to make a provision to remove an amenities committee from House, which was a subcommittee, and make a new pool committee. So that was with the responsibility for the oversight of both the activities at all the aquatic facilities in the future. Our communications committee is really much larger than what you see here. I apologize, I don't have everybody's name, but there will be that on the presentation on the website. Communications did a lot of things this year also. They had a new format for the memorabilia and the member minute, making it more clear and concise. Much more abbreviated, easier to read member minute, and not so many e-blasts that went out as before. But they did schedule e-blasts that were of importance to members that might have not been seen during the member minute or the memorabilia. The focus was really on the website and the calendar and the member-related articles. The People of Pinehurst segment gave you the opportunity to maybe meet some people that you would not know in your day-to-day activities. There was a rotation of article members, articles, supposed to have a comma there, member activities and events, and provided photos and results on the website, of course, all of the golf, which most of you are most interested in, but also our other recreational activities. The golf committee is also a large committee because all of the organized golf groups are a part of it, and also members at large. They provided good teamwork regarding the oversight of the course care and post-opens restoration, which was important to all of us. They developed a local rule regarding stones and bunkers, which I think all of us had at our previous clubs, increased opportunities for individual play, and increased youth opportunities through the PGA Junior League and the Tar Heel Youth Golf Association. The House Committee is another large committee, not all pictured here. They increased family events, something that we did not have as much in the past, and of course with the beautiful new clubhouse made it much, much easier to do. They greater menu diversity, provided oversight, as with everything else, of the post-open clubhouse restorations, introduced a friendship table for larger events, and hopefully a lot of the new members, because we have gotten so many new members this year, have taken advantage of that if they're just a twosome and want to meet other people. They improved the recognition of members in the restaurants, and hopefully all of our staff knows you by name, or will soon. Long-range planning is a committee also that the vice president has to take on, and really receives quarterly input from all of the standing committees, where you should contact them on things that perhaps you hope happens to the club in the future. No guarantees that it happens, but at least it gets onto the long-range planning, and then with management is discussed. The organized committee and member ideas, as I mentioned, go into these planning action items. In Capital, we did a lot of improvements. The website, which I don't know about all of you, but I think is absolutely fantastic. The tennis, croquet, and pickleball facilities have been improved. The Lake Pinehurst amenities had some upgrades. And our the AV equipment is still ongoing in upgrades, but so far we have a built-in sound system. The programming of the long-range plan, our members asked for enhanced communication, and that was a big focus this year with our communication committee. The addition of yellow tees on a number of our golf courses. There were a number of 9-hole golf groups also, and increased utilization of PCC member facilities. Membership is a very important committee, as are all the committees. They take things on, not always with the result that you are expecting, but they take on anything that the membership really wants to bring forward. And they look at them and they form subcommittees. And one of the things they did this year was that they developed a report and recommendation on an idea from the membership, which was a single membership proposal. They also reviewed proposals for the military, rental, and national membership categories. They provided presentations at all new member orientations, and this is an amazing job because it happens on a continuous basis. Through September, they also personally contacted 140 new members, and they created a Member Golf Association brochure so that when someone joins the club, they'll know all of the things that they can possibly do. They work closely with the membership office on membership issues and concerns. Pool, we had that wonderful pool reveal party, which is what you see here. And really all that was done was that a committee was formed with the anticipation of the 2015 complex. The construction began, and I'm sure all of you have seen the fence and all of the dirt digging that's going on. TLCP, that's a word. That is a huge acronym that is just too much to even talk about. But they provided insight also to the post-opens. The restoration of the tennis and the croquet facilities was very important. The pickleball facilities has become a wonderful addition to our recreation. They increased the programming and opportunities for each sport and for new participants to try those sports. And they have special sport-related events. Now that's really the end of the standing committees, and something that the board had thought about, that perhaps there should be some recognition for those members that have really been members a long time. And I believe there was a flyer out on one of the tables, but what it's going to be is that any member who has 25-plus years as a Pinehurst member, there will be a special event on March the 4th, and the reservations can be made through the reservation member services in the lobby. And with that, I will turn it back to Merle.
Thank you, Mary, and members of the club. Thanks to the membership committee for putting together the first of what we hope to be many recognition events for members who have been with us for many, many years. At this point in time, I'd like to share with you a Board of Governors perspective on Pinehurst Country Club. And I'd like to do that in three categories. I'd like to talk about facilities, I'd like to talk about programming, and then I want to end with personnel. If you look back from the period of time of 2011 to 2014, just the last 3 years, think about the clubhouse. How before, well, everybody knew it was Pinehurst Members Club, but it has now changed. It is Pinehurst Country Club as we have people greet us at the front of the club. Who remembers the green awning? And the abundance that we had of that. And if we compare that to Pinehurst Country Club that we look at from course 2 today. If we look at the old veranda view, how the green awning cut down the view of the most important thing we have in terms of the finishing hole at 18. And then if we look at some of the new view, and you can see how that was opened up on the veranda. If we look at another view from the same veranda, there's our blessed veranda or foyer area.
Still,
And
copper still.
you know, it just kind of doesn't present itself in the same manner that we present ourselves today, that people come in the front door, and this is the view they have coming into the foyer. Again, a second view. And then, again, I guess, looking at the prior view of the veranda there, or the foyer. The new lobby area, you notice the first change you saw is the colors and how much brighter it is and the openness. The entrance that we come up the staircase before was right just in the middle. And then if we compare that to the grandness of the new staircase as we enter up and then go to each side. In addition, was the elevator. The old elevator was nothing more than essentially a dumb waiter. And so this has been very helpful to a number of our members. The old golf shop, and this year that old golf shop was remodeled. And as we look at that, notice again the openness, the larger footprint for the shop, and the entrance. We have a separate entrance which has a store window of displays that can be made, and along with that is the new counter where we can have 8 different people registering or buying different things. They can be attended to all at the same time, where we were challenged in the old shop to be taking care of 3 customers really at one point in time. Let's look a little bit at facilities in terms of the restoration of course 2. Before the restoration, you notice it with wall-to-wall green out there, very expensive, so on and so forth. And regardless of what many of you may think, probably a lot more challenging course today with the bringing back of a lot of the native areas that Donald Ross had in his design. Again, a picture of before and after. Moving on, courses 1, 2, 3, and 8. 4 of our courses have new greens since 2011. But more importantly, they're the greens that can really work for us in this warm weather that we have from time to time. And not too many of you have to think back very far to remember coming on course 3 after the U.S. kids have been here. And how that golf course with its old grass could not handle very much play during those times of year. And yet today, it can be in pristine condition right after a major event such as that. So 4 new courses out of our 9 courses. We've added new bathrooms on the golf courses. I think that 3 or 4 of these bathrooms have been added over that period of time. The old scoreboard came down before it fell down. And now we have a new scoreboard, and the presentation that it does make consistent with the other architectural design of the facilities. The old starter shack, of course, too. And you get a look at where that was, but that was kind of a central point of focus in looking out from the veranda. But as we look out today, we have a new replica of the old course at St. Andrews starting shack. And notice the view that we have, and we see golf course rather than the starting shack and presentation that it may have took away from. We've added Thistle Dew over that period of time, a challenging putting course. And prior to that point in time, unless you wanted to pay the full rate, the availability on 8 wasn't there, but that's been made available to members over that period of time. And we've had the addition of number 9 to the 8 courses that are available to the members. And along with number 9 comes a great clubhouse. And we've also added, during that period of time, member bag drop services. This is the only service that I'm aware of that has probably had 5 or 6 different locations. But all of that was in anticipation for what gets done with the
It's not
pool
done yet
complex and the development of a rather permanent location. But the group has been trying very hard and been giving very good service to the members with this drop services. In terms of facilities, thinking about the tennis, lawn sports, croquet, and pickleball, we've had new pickleball courts. They didn't exist at all prior to that time. We've rebuilt the tennis courts and resurfaced the croquet courts. Many of you have been out there, part of the pickleball, recognize the sign that they put up, but that's the home, number 6, of Pinehurst Pickleball. You see there are some folks out there enjoying the sport, a sport that's been rapidly growing. Tennis courts have been rebuilt after the Open, and we have some very, very fine facilities there with that reconstruction. And many of there are 2 of the 2 main courts for croquet have been resurfaced, but with the same grass that's on course number 2. And so consequently, along with that, there was laser leveling and some other improvements that were made. And so the croquet folks have a very first-class facility. That same sort of approach will be taken to the lawn bowl facilities this next spring, but we just ran out of warm weather to be able to do it yet this year. In terms of swimming facilities, we had the addition of paddleboard has become quite a sport out on the lake, and we've added a storage area for those things. There's also new space for additional kayaks, canoes, and many of the playground equipment has been replaced out there along with new umbrellas. Taking a look, here was some of the things that was put out there this year for the kids. We called it the lily pad, the umbrellas on the beach, and then in terms of the aquatic area, everybody is very excited about the new pool complex. Jay Biggs will speak to this in just a moment or two with more information on that. Many of you recall about 2.5 months ago, our pool reveal party. And I think everybody had a great time, and I think this is just a forerunner of events and things to come when the facilities are in operation next summer. If we think in terms of right off the 91st hole and the putting greens, our new practice facilities in that whole area. A part of course number 1, 18th green, was taken into the practice facilities, and then a new hole was added to that course. And so consequently now, we have several acres just of practice facilities for golf. And as we look out from the club, we can see those facilities. A fitness center was added, and along with the fitness center, you got to have some reason you're going to go over there, and we've added more bars and restaurants. And so as we look at those bars and restaurants, how many people remember the old members lounge? Right over here. And with the old members lounge, a little bit congested, rather dark. And as we look then today into the new members bar, Payne's Pub, and as we look at the pub, we also have the ability to have food service in there. And we have a couple of our regulars, Payne's Pub.
You have a problem?
Thanks, Denny and Jay.
I qualify.
Every morning in Payne's Pub, you'll find complimentary coffee for the members. If you haven't used that, use that service. And also you can get breakfast sandwiches, other things before you start your activity for the day. The old Fairway Room, how many people remember Sunday brunch? This is where you ate Sunday brunch. And as we look at that room, a little different view. And now we have different things that have come from that. We have Laddie's Court, our primary restaurant for the members, and then a different view. We have the old veranda dining with the limited access, if you will, to the outside world of the course. And now you can take a look at some of the new dining that we have on the veranda, and the tremendous openness that's with the new remodeling and design. Again, another look at it. The main dining room that we had previously for our functions. And then if we look at the outlook room as a setup that we have to host new functions. But notice all of the windows and the looking to the outside and the view that people that are using that room have.
Very nice.
An added area, I think largely using the old bar area, is now the two-view ballroom for smaller groups, meetings, things of that nature. We have remodeled the Chapman boardroom. There's a take a look at it right up here on the main level. And a new number 7 dining room. And notice how the thing has been reconfigured with this presentation. Along with that, some of the resources in the bar and our great chief in charge at the bar out there. Then with the addition this past year, we have the Cornerstone Cafe on the lower level. Provides dining over at number 9. And with that, just an example of additional activities that have been brought to the club. We have many activities taking place already at Course 9 and things that members are welcome to engage in. Other things that have been added, we have a members-only shop that can get member logo with the Laddie, the insignia there for our new members only. We have that separate shop we didn't have. And here's a look at the inside of some of the things that are available and things that we'd like to build and grow upon with this service to members. Along with that, Club has a new logo. You can see the old logo on the side. Many of you probably if you were given a chance, would have trouble picking that logo out of a group of 3. But I think clearly with the new logo, you see that anywhere, you'll know that that's the logo of Pinehurst Country Club. In terms of programming, just a quick look there. Probably the most important thing and something that we use every day is the new member website and the amount of information that is available on that site to members. A category of special events. You can find out anything that's going on within the club looking at the calendar with a couple clicks. Some of those special events and things that have been new. Wine judging. You've got the chef's community table. We've had the 80s night with the Love Tribe. Had a luau this summer at Lake Pinehurst. Again, some additional things that took place at that luau. In case you missed it, you might want to make sure you make it next year. Motown and the Legacy group that helped perform. Trivia nights, something that's continually growing, and I think we're going to have to find a bigger room than this room. They've almost outgrown this room. It's the largest room we have, but a great activity. We've had progressive dinners at 7 and 9, and here at the main club. Scotch tastings. We had club open for snow days. How many remember that from last year? Got the email early in the morning, the club was open, and as I looked at it, whoever guessed on the 18th green? Whoever guessed? And if you looked at this photo, if we looked at this photo a year or two ago and said, where was it taken at? Few people might have guessed that's the 18th green
Michigan.
at Pinehurst Country Club. Carolina Pick-Piggin, and then the U.S. Open Bash preceding the great activities we had this summer with the Opens. We've had sport nights within the club. Example of some of those things, comedy night, and coming up, a Charles Dickens Christmas. And so I think a continuation of that great event. And many of the things, I don't know if you've used this service, but I've used it a lot, is our member services desk. And oftentimes, I may not have known who to get a hold of for something in the club, but today we can call there and they can direct us right to the person that can help us directly with whatever our question and concerns are. And so we've got great staff out there and they just give great service. Something that I hope you find as useful as I have, and perhaps you already have. The dining cart, and then the expansions that have come since the introduction of that, I think is a great, just a great member benefit that we have at the club. And with that, communications. One of the things we worked very hard on is to try and I think most of this comes directly from our communications committee taking your comments and suggestions and making them reality. And one of the things as part of that is the staffing on a full-time basis of Katie Hoadley and what she's brought to that. We have online dining reservations that are now available. Promotional flyers are put in all of our bathrooms and locker room areas. And we've expanded the valet service that previously was only available very few nights of the week and now is available for whenever we have activities and things going on at the club. Virtually whenever you need it, it's there. We've added the service of parking lot shuttles that if you want to park, you get a ride up right to the front door. And if we look at programming in golf, one of the things that all golfers think is just huge is the online tee time system. But along with that is the email confirmations of that tee time. We switched over to the GIN system for our handicaps, and the club has added significant value to a number of our major member tournaments. Along with that, we had great programming around and with the U.S. Open. If we look at that on-time seat system, many of you have been in there, used this. It's a system that just works very well. It just took me a little while to get used to it. But once I did, the system works just wonderfully. In terms of events on the golf side, think about these things. New events over this period of time: couples 9 and dine, men's night out, girls giggle golf, ladies 9 and wine, the Palumbo Cup, the Hickory Golf Tournament. You know, if we look at these things, a lot of those things are made possible because we now have a new head professional just for members at head professional, Rob Paluski. And with that, here's some photos from the Tuft Archives Hickory Golf Pro-Am that was held this past year. Some more things from that Hickory tournament. The couples 9 and dine, you notice the strategizing that's going on in the group out there as they're trying to get up and hopefully up and in the hole from that position. The couples 9 and dine after the golf have the dining on the patio. The men's night out, again, an idea just for 9 holes. Get some men together. You can meet new people and enjoy 9 holes of golf. Ladies 9 and wine. Nobody had to send an instruction book to make that work. Girls, giggles, and golf. Something that was started, I think, 3 years ago and has built and has introduced a lot of gals to the sport of golf. We have a new locker room manager, Daryl Joy, and we now have complimentary bag storage. If you want to store your clubs here, have that done complimentary. Just programming. Let's look for just a minute. Lawn sports, there's been new tennis programs. There's fitness classes at the fitness center. Regular scheduled open play at tennis, and we now, this past year, had our first pickleball tournament. And next year, we're looking to have a sanctioned tournament with a club that's just like a year and a half into their life here at the club. Kids programs in the tennis area, and here's a look at the group that participated in that. Different kind of tennis events that they've had in the course of the year. Pickleball events, they have a regularly scheduled open play time, some of their own tournaments here, and building a very significant number of members that participate in that sport. In the fitness center, we have our own trainer in Christy Weaver, and she's someone that's been very helpful to members that want to know how to most effectively use the equipment and use it for their needs that they're seeking. In swimming, this year we established a pool committee to kind of look at the whole subject of aquatics activities that the members have, and they're going to provide oversight of member activities in that area starting in 2015. Some of the family and children events that have been worked hard to be built, you can get a look at what's been taking place, but I want you to get a flavor of the breadth of the activities and things that we're trying to do to draw in younger members and families into the clubs. Okay, give you a flavor of some of those particular things. And everybody remembers a continuation then of our great 4th of July activities that we have here. Some of the summer sport camps in addition. Now, the third area that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about Pinehurst Country Club employees. And as we look at this, in 2011, the club had 69 employees. And so to make the member experience better, changes were put in place, and the changes came with our Senior Vice President, Jay Biggs, who I'm going to introduce in just a minute. But these changes came into place, and to support these programs and activities of the members, by 2014, this past year, we have 100 276 employees that are supporting these member functions. And we can't enjoy the things here without people that necessarily help us in each part of those activities. And so you notice this is, about 2.5 times the number of employees over that 3-year period. But if we look at that, here's some of the additions of these, major categories or positions that were added: general manager, membership sales manager, member relations manager, private events manager, executive chef, head golf professional. You get member communication manager, service director, and we got the pickleball director. All of those things are major positions of people handling an activity directly for the benefit of members in that area. Now, if we look at that, I want to talk a little bit then about what we've seen in terms of dues increases. In 2011, a social member paid a monthly dues of $87. And the 2011 golfing membership from 1 through 6 was $361 a month. Okay? Keep those figures in mind, 87 and 361. In 2014, notice what happened was that the social membership went up $8 a month over 3 years. And notice that the full golf membership went up $20 over 3 years, or $7 a year. And notice I wanted to try and lay out the number of things that have happened in terms of activities and the number of additional employees that have been added, but yet it has not been put on the back of your monthly bill as a member of the club. And so as we look at that and we think about the number of things that have been brought to us since 2011, the Board of Governors thinks we have a great club. We think we have a great club. And we think we have a great club at a great value, one of the best in the nation. So from the Board of Governors, many of the things that we do come directly from suggestions that one or more of you has taken the time to give us a phone call or to drop us an email with an idea. And the governors, they actually thrive on those ideas that you send in. So please keep them coming. Give us to them, and we'll try and work on them and see if we can't even enhance the members' experience that has been built over the last several years as we go forward. With that, then, I'd like to ask Jay Biggs, our Senior Vice President for the club, to come on up and share some thoughts with us that as we start into the year 2015, what might we expect going forward?
Thanks, Will. Good job.
Well done.
Well, I guess this is my third or fourth one of these meetings, and it's the first time I've had to wear glasses, so this year's been an unbelievable year with everything going on. So first, thank the Board of Governors. As they said, it's been a great couple, 3 years since I've been here working with them. The ideas that have come about do come from the committee meetings and then to the board members. So I think we're building an amazing club. Through there, it's kind of, went through the program several times over the last 4 or 5 days. And I pretty much scrapped my notes from what I was going to talk about because it just, as I saw that, different things hit me. But I do want to start first. None of this could ever happen without those 169 employees, employee partners that we talked about. We've hired an unbelievable team. We've had a great team in here. We lost a very crucial member of our team and our general manager, who Jeff Shepard. If you hadn't heard, he went back to work for Club Corp. He had a great opportunity in Chicago where he had been, and will probably end up running multiple clubs there. So Jeff was a big part of all of this. Also, our whole team, there's a lot of them here. I was glad to see the Club Essentials, the Tea Time, the online Tea Time bookings on there. We've got Rich Wainwright in the back. Rich was very instrumental in putting that together. You can imagine. I call him the Great Oz. The things he does with yield management's pretty amazing. But the time he's put into that, and he's trained his daughter Katie. Katie is his daughter to help him with that. But Rich stays up late at night to download different things. He spends so much time with that, and I can't thank him enough. Our team at 7 and 9. We talk that those numbers were for the main club here, but our team's at 7 and 9. Chris Sivier, our pro manager, at 7, and Tom Parson at 9. Club staff here: Gina Brooker, Nancy Sadler, Sue Whitley, Rob Paluski, Brian Fahey, Matt Downing, Holly Imster, Molly Brighting, Matt Schaefer, Ben Bridgers, Bob Farron. Bob, you still here? I got really nervous when we saw the kids sledding on 18. I was hoping Bob had left. I was actually looking for him. Chris Main is in the kitchen. Mary Beth Miller takes care of all the billing, and that's one of the most amazing things, as many members we have, and that she can keep that straight. And Katie Hoadley. Did talk about our staff. We did hire a new executive chef. I think many of you might have met him, Brian Wyckoff. He's great because he says never trust a skinny chef, and he's a good, solid guy and doing great things for us. It has been an amazing couple years. I think I've been here 2.5 years now. And this year, there's been so many changes, and I know that's very good in some ways. I know it's very uncomfortable in some ways. It's uncomfortable for me. The 9 acquisition was something that just kind of happened, and it's really made for a very interesting year. And I personally, not a grouchy guy, but sometimes during that times I was very grouchy because I had a lot going on. So if I ever was grouchy to you at that time, I very much apologize. But I was really, we had a lot to do with that. We had an acquisition and then a due diligence period, and we had to get members from both sides to agree and want this to happen. And we were very successful with that. And then we closed on it 10 days before the U.S. Opens, and we had to operate it. So there was a lot going on there. It's going great. The boards have merged well. The financial pro forma that we did when we put it together is almost exactly right where we had planned on it, which is great. I will let you know that the capital dollars, any capital dollars over there, were derived from the original sale, the initial capital. So any of the renovations are from the monies from that. So it's not pulling from our normal general fund of capital. I always like to make that very clear. As we look at this, all I've really worked on and tried to focus on with this club is to try to make it the club of choice in Pinehurst was my original goal. Now I think, and I've heard me say this before, now it's the Sand Hills, and it might even be southeastern part of the United States. And I think we're about a 4 to 5 of where we want to. I think where we're going to end up with amenities and what we do, but we won't do it as fast as we've gone so far. We'll slow that pace down. But the new pool, we have a pool committee. We will start meeting now that the pool is set and planned. It was quite a process getting it, exactly the way we wanted it, to get it approved by our team, by our owner, and then village and everything else. But we broke ground. We're still planning to open it in June. I always make the joke, if we open it in November, we're going to look really, really not stupid, I guess is the best way of saying it. So we're pushing as hard as we can. They're moving. They said the first shovel will go in the ground, and it's much more than a shovel. They've moved a lot of dirt in the last week. So very happy with that. Fitness has become a question. I get that a lot. And the fitness, we decided because the pool price went up, and we thought the pool was of the two was the most crucial part to what we're trying to do membership-wise. And we didn't want to take any shortcuts on it. It is at $4.2 million, and our CFO tells me all the time we're cutting it very close. We don't have much contingency, so it's probably going to be real close to that or a little higher. But that elevated. Our fitness, we're going to start on after the pools. We are going to take the tennis building, the existing tennis building, the way it looks right now. We'll make that entire building fitness with equipment. We'll build an addition to the building that will be a registration area, that will be check-in for pool or for tennis and for fitness. Some pro shop there, and another extension to the building that will be workout rooms, yoga classes, classrooms for fitness. So you'll be seeing things on that really soon. I think it'll probably open. Best time to open fitness is always New Year's. So probably I'm hoping for the first of 16. So it did get pushed back. It was my decision because of the price of the pool. But the pool for us, everything we've really tried to do is become as relevant, as diverse as we can be, and that was something I think is a big part of the pool. I should be showing some things here. I think most of you have seen the drawings and schematics. There's quite the team. As good as it gets. I think everybody's seen this. The highlights for me are many, but the family pool, it is zero entry. The big area, the big arc there is zero entry with water shooting up, shooting out. We can turn those on, turn them off. And as you walk over there, you can see the purple up in the left corner. That is a slide, and it's back in the very back corner. It's quite a ways, when we had it laid out, it's quite a ways away from the first tee of number 2. We're confident that the noise won't be an issue. But by that, you don't see it on there, but this time, part of what's driving up that plan is we've got a 16-foot television that sits down in the corner that will have programming for videos, movies, that kind of thing where we can do at night. Then the big building, I guess the two buildings on the lower side, one's a family restroom and one's an adult restroom. And then the big buildings up in the middle, if you came to the pool opening, which we had 700 people at, which was unbelievable. The big tent represented the indoor cafe in the bar. The bar's open air that stretches out over the adult pool. So, and by there, if you look, the pool on the right is the adult pool. It's junior Olympic size. But if you look at the other spaces around it on the deck, right by the bar, there's a fire pit, and that's where I think most of the adults will hang out in the evenings when we do programming. And down in the bottom by the entrance, there's an event lawn for birthday parties or whatever it might want to be, and it's almost as big as the pool. So we've got a lot of great space to do functions and events. So I think it's really going to be cool. And the decoration or the designs were, those kids on the slide all ended up with blue feet. Bob Farron painted that with our paint we use on golf courses. Construction has begun. But you've seen these schematics. I mean, the breezeways, the architecture's fabulous. It's going to look like it's been in Pinehurst forever and like it fits in Pinehurst, even with the water slide tucked over on the side. One more. There will be fencing and some landscaping. It won't be that exposed as you drive by there. So, very exciting. We do lose some tennis courts in this process, and I do know you need more lights because some of the tennis courts we lose have lights on them. So we're working. We'll have that taken care of and in a good spot when we open. I do want to let you know our budgets aren't done yet. So I'm not going to announce the dues today, but I'm going to announce them the 1st of January because I don't know what they are. But we are in the process of everything we're going to do that I'm talking about will be in a state of the club letter that will go out first of the year. There are a lot of things membership-wise, some membership information that will be in there on what the long-term future and rollouts and so forth that we'll have in the next year. I mentioned the dining program. It was a big success from the beginning. We originally did it so that we knew that 7 would be successful. Then number 9 came in the mix, and now we've got 1 through 6 members at sport and full golf members can do it. The only reason we didn't allow social is because we've got 2,400 social members, and we don't have the room, the capacity to handle that many. So we'll see where this pans out, and then we'll see how we adjust from there. But in this letter, we'll have several things talking about the club and what's going on. I do want to let you know we've got GM candidates. We have sent out a nationwide search. We've got one in town today, and we've got 2 others coming in the next week. Hope to have a new club manager in place by the beginning of mid-January at the latest. We are looking for a gentleman with a lot of food and beverage experience. Me and Jeff are both golf pros, so we're looking for a little more food and beverage background. We have hired a membership director that actually he replaced me at Firestone when I left there one time, so he'll be coming to town January 1st, and I think everybody will enjoy working with him. The Silver Plus event that they were talking about, if you've been a member for 25 years or more, our databases are not very solid, so we are trying to track everybody down. If you can't come to the event even, we would like to know if you've been a member for more than 25 years. We're trying to build that database. We do want to do special events, and starting with this, an annual meeting to celebrate that. The dining programs I mentioned, we are at 7 and 9 through January 1, and then if you have the program, you can use it everywhere. So it will tie the club in. So a lot of that wasn't clear. I have learned that communication through Pinehurst is as big as it is very difficult. I always kind of relate it to when the acquisition was going on, and then even with this pool committee, there's so many things that we have to finalize, and there's so many things that are going on that if it gets out, that changes the way things happen. So I really have to be careful on how and when things get released. I always try to give you the information when I can. I really do. I struggled a little bit with the boards during the acquisition, getting them information at the time. I know that's something that's very important. We're trying to do everything with the communications website to deliver that information to you. Promise I'm never trying to hide anything. I want this club to be as great as it can be. I never have an intention of taking anything backwards for you. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, and I understand, and I like the feedback, and we'll change if it does, if you would ever feel that way, and it would be determined that was the case. So it's been an unbelievable year and a half, 2.5 years. I can't believe the things that have happened. Thank you for letting it happen. Thank you for being a part of it. I get great support from all of you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be around here. I'll stay till the end. If you have any questions, you need anything from me, I'll stay till the last one of you's here. So thanks so much for a great 2.5 years. I look forward to another 2.5.
Thank you, Jay, and I'd like to again thank the Board of Governors for all of their hard work, and with that Board of Governors, all of you that serve in their committees. With that, we wanted to get done within 1 hour. I think if we adjourn right now, we make it. We're adjourned.
Me too, I'm hungry.